Everyone's sunlight, I hope all of you. Actually, today I hurried a bit. Who is the person who invited? I don't know. Lady? Oh, I can imagine. Now you told me you must be working here, is it? I don't know. Where do you work? You told me something about where you're working.
Yeah. I work at a hospital, a private hospital in Melbourne. Yeah.
But it's kind of a service or what?
Yeah, it's diabetes. Service.
Diabetes?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's good if you're going to live. The best way, a clean way of living is to do some service. My teacher used to tell me those days. For me also to join the Red Cross or something, so civil servant, because those days British time, he knows he's an old venerable from Germany, so he used to tell me like this: if I'm going to work, okay, join these social service organizations, and then you can live, you earn some money for living, and also you do good karma. Anyway, I worked as an auditor for just 2 years, just to make my father a bit happy. And it was also like a kind of because I was getting certain blocks in my practice, I was meditating in one forest with my teacher, and just suddenly I couldn't continue. I couldn't continue my meditation. So much disturbances, like my mind was, not settling down, and I was getting like, I thought maybe I will go through a breakdown or something. But still my teacher is such a, like when you meet him, he gives so much inspiration. He was a wandering monk, and so I met him when he was very old, and I followed him. So for him, he used to tell us, we rest only in hospital. He used to tell like this for us. That means, no, you can't say you have this pain, that pain. You just have to go on and use the practice. So anyway, he used to give me inspiration when I go to his kuti. That time I was not a monk. I was like a yogi or a lay practitioner. So he used to give me so much inspiration. But when I go back to my kuti or meditation cell in the island, hermitage, it's in Sri Lanka, one monastery, you have to go, it's very nice in a lagoon. You have to use a boat to get there, and like a jungle, very big jungle. So when I go to my kuti again, this tension used to come to my mind. Then I was wondering, it's a big problem for me. Now I can't continue, something wrong. So when I was a young boy, I had some kind of contacts with, I don't know how to call them, like rishis, like seers, like connected with Himalayas. I think they are like my guarding angels or whoever. Maybe the past lives I would have been with them. And they don't forget you. They seem to follow you. So when my life changed completely at the age of 18, I was like in a place like this in South Africa. I don't know whether you know Lesotho. My parents were there. They were working that time for UNDP. My father then, he was lecturing in the university. So that time I was that's the place where actually I was awakened. It's very funny, the silence, the solitude, and just going for walks. But already I was having this, kind of searching for what is going on. It's deep wanting to know, then that time I was interested in physics, because there's no other, like this you are having great opportunity. There are nothing, no temple, no monks visiting. Lesotho is like a small kingdom, it's not a developed place, but it's beautiful, nice place. Drakensberg, the mountains are there, and so there I got this particular knowledge and this inspiration. After that, these connections with the rishis, all the wholesome things started to work. And we came to Sri Lanka, and then I want to be a monk actually, but my father, he was not agreeing with that. He wanted me at least to finish the degree, at least a university degree. So for me that time, I didn't want to do anything. I found all these things like empty with that experience. It's a long story, I'm just cutting short, just to give me a point. I'm feeling something to say, that's why. Anyway, so that time when I had this connection with the rishis, they also told me, don't first get blessing from your parents. Don't be in a hurry. They just told me to get blessing from my parents, They are first gods. That's how they explained to me. The first gods in this world is your parents. Get their blessings. Then we will give you whatever you want. That's how I was so anxious to just leave everything and go. But I didn't want to believe who are these people. I also have no idea. So anyway, I didn't take a drastic decision. I was meditating, practicing. And but not going against my father. Then we had to, we were applying for the universities. I was planning to go to Princeton at that time because Einstein was my hero. Because of relativity and theory of relativity, I had a certain vision from that. But I don't want to explain that. Anyway, then my father, then I got these rishis. They told me this advice. First get your parents' blessings like that. But okay, I didn't go against them. I was just waiting in a kind of a middle path until the results came for the admission. But meanwhile I used to meditate. Constantly I used to meditate. Go for parties, just eat slowly and slow. So in the beginning I didn't think I don't need to go for parties. But so for dinners, I used to go. I used to sit in a quiet place and meditate. So people who know the spiritual life, they used to appreciate. They used to think, okay, he must have, this is... but others, they thought, what is wrong with this young boy? 18 years old, he's so calm, and so they thought maybe in some depression or something like that. Because that's how people know, they don't know there's a happy depression. Not a negative depression. Anyway, we went to Sri Lanka. Then these rishis, they told me also, further advice, when you're 25, 26, to do a job. 26 like this. You do a job when you're at that age. Your father will be happy with it, and you can do your meditation in the equal footing. They told me like this, and so I was wondering what is all this. But now when I was having that problem in the island hermitage, I was 25 that period. Then I was wondering, what is wrong? Then I remembered them. Because when I meet my teacher, I feel inspired. I feel, I'm going to stay. But it was just by day, I was struggling. When I go to my meditation cell, I was like then I remembered, maybe they're right, something wrong here. So anyway, I suddenly left the island, that monastery. And then I was thinking what to do. Then that time I had some connections with some good people who had some meditation power. We used to come and we go and meet them. So when I met that person, she's a lady, actually we call her ma'am, very nice. She's I think the purest lady I ever met. Old lady, and so graceful, and so much, she was so intuitive. And she's the one who actually recognized, funny thing, that I was coming from the Himalayas. Of course, those days I had the beard and, like a yogi, jeans and t-shirt, one red t-shirt. People who know me, they know. Those days, I used to keep three t-shirts and three trousers. I mean jeans. So all the clothes I used to give. I had a different life. I used to give poor people. And then once we were in South Africa, and in South Africa, Lesotho, we have few beggars, but they are not really beggars. They are like mad, and they are near the shopping area. But we were in Bloemfontein, something like this. A bit, I remember. And I'm looking for a beggar, an opportunity to give. There's no beggars. So then I was searching somewhere, and then there's an African. So I gave actually my father's jacket. My father's given me his jacket, and I gave, and my father was really, he didn't scold me, but he told me, son, you give your jacket, but not my jacket. I give things for you, not to be given to others. So I was doing all these things, really, giving whatever I can. I was, so anyway, this particular rishis, I remember their word, and this particular man or this lady in Sri Lanka, she's the one who told, you come from the Himalayas, your gurus are there, like this. Then I was really thinking, why all this, I'm getting these perceptions, and so they are giving me this advice. Then when this crucial situation came, and when I met her after going from the island hermitage, you're getting used to my way of talking, pictures here, pictures there, pictures. This is my mind. And normally I get a blackout, I had told, I think maybe some of you have heard, this is the ghost you're seeing. 2015, I was almost facing, though I'm speaking, smiling and all that, okay. Underneath there's a big force of urgency working in my heart. I nearly faced, not nearly 2 times, 2014, but 15 is the one that I nearly left this body in Himalayas, in Kailash, Manasarovar. I don't know if you know Manasarovar. It is in Tibet, western Tibet, in a remote area, no food, nothing, just you have to take rations and the guide, it's like a wild west, it is nothing even now, but now there is these army bases and camps, Chinese, so you have to take so many permits and so on. You're like going there, you cannot just leave there. You have to go by, so you have to really be cool, you have to live in the present moment. If you are in a kind of panic mode, finish. So anyway, there I faced this situation. So to fulfill certain thing only I'm coming now like this, because that time I had this feeling I couldn't share enough with the people. Because I was a solitary monk running away to perfect myself. And certain things that I used to face that moment of death, I have not shared enough. That's the main thing. So then I thought, can't help it. Okay, now I have to face it. Because I don't know until next day morning, this altitude sickness. So it's a long, anyway, I had to, then there's no medicine for that, you have to go down. I've seen people dying in the previous visits. And some people just about to die, and then they were recovered by, the certain doctors in Saga. This area where I was staying, no facilities, nothing. It's only chance. And so this I feel, so anyway, when I felt these rishis, they gave me this particular advice. So I'm telling you, sometimes, my brain has gone through, I get a blackout, when I'm talking like this, because my nerves have been strained, and so many things. My body has gone through certain hardships and difficulties, but they're okay now, I think. I hope I can share you some of the points. Something I want to share that. So then I remember these people, their words, and when I met this particular lady, she also told me suddenly, you must do a job. And I was wondering why. Now I'm thinking, so job. Then I thought, this. Then it gave me an idea to think those rishis what they said. At 25, when you do like this, don't worry like that. You can do equal footing. Because I'm so concerned about meditation. I thought meditation should be only done in, like house. It's an interesting story I'm feeling now. Okay. I'm getting a nice, interesting thing. Just now. Okay, I'll tell about it. Whoever came late, they must come front, So I caught you before you catch me. You can come to the front. Interesting thing, I was hurrying today because I was told by this lady, there's some people who are coming who are from, because I was thinking coming to here, I wish I make more Australians. Because Sri Lanka people, they are not the only people who are dying, right? Or getting old, or it was suffering. All human beings are suffering, my friend. Suffering means they're all facing the same, it is the same mechanism. The Buddha is not for any particular, he's called remover of suffering, remover or deliverer of beings from suffering. He's a universal thing, a phenomena. Being a Buddha is a phenomena, it's a certain happening. In this world, time to time, such a being, it's a title that such a person who has accomplished or realized, self-realized completely, this title comes to him, but that is because he has done it on his own. He had no teacher, no master. When that knowledge was lost in this world, in this planet, there's such a person, when he was researching, he got this particular knowledge. So, I will come to you. I'm going to have a seal, but anyway, I'm going to come to this point because maybe this is for some people there. So, where was I? Then she told me this, and then I got the idea that I made up my mind to do a job. So that time, people who saw me, like who are in the monastery in the jungle meditating and all that, they thought next he will be becoming a monk. So, but they got to know now I'm doing a job, So they thought, oh, finish now. He's going to do a job, then next will be marriage. That they thought. But I did like this, the job, and then I came fully like that. So sometimes certain things our life, the decisions we have to take is hidden. We don't know exactly, so we have to sometimes balance our life, and our success may be in an entirely different place where we are normally searching for it. So we have to learn to think out of the box. So, but very important, especially the younger ones, when they have to take a decision, good person to consult is your parents. Because, you see, parents, you are not doing anything without parents. Now sometimes, so I told you, I think most of you are new, your first time seeing me? First time? No, okay. Most of you, okay. So, I told even great people sometimes complain about their parents, because sometimes when something goes wrong, you really think, you first blame them, Why didn't they do? Because you think they are Superman or Superwoman. But they are also human, they are children who become grown-ups and they become parents. So really, but it's a wonderful thing, parents, that, and they are so innocent, they try their best to do. Whatever way. So once Swami Vivekananda, I don't know if you have heard of Swami Vivekananda. These are very good, I find an audience who are quite, exposed to a variety of things. Anyway, so Swami Vivekananda, he also got upset. He became famous in Parliament of Religions in 1895, something like that. Anagarika Dharmapala also was there that time, but he was the one who really made a mark, Swami Vivekananda. So anyway, once, he also told his father one time, what have you done for me? Then the father said, go look at yourself in the mirror. So my friend, just giving this body, you should be satisfied, because we have destiny. We may not be having the destiny to, get certain service from them. But they have been the ones who have made you to see this world. And they have a kind of an instinct, that deeper feeling there is something. Anything they say, there is something behind it. So whatever they say, you should never disturb them. It is said like that, if you disturb your mother, it's like you're killing a plant. If you disturb your father, it's like putting hot water to the roots of a plant. Then you get yellow leaves. So in your life, if you want to flourish, it's important to make them happy. Every person's great deeds, great actions, they are behind it. Nobody is successful great. I mean, you can be a normal person, not a, but if you want to achieve something, you must make sure they are made happy and you follow their wishes. But I have told this before. If they tell you to, for example, like you are at home like this, and they want to avoid somebody, okay? And they tell, if this person comes, please tell I'm not at home. Tell I'm in a meeting or something like that. So, did you meet me before? No? Okay, you might know the answer. You also? What about, I don't want to, he's too small to handle it, I think. Not too small, but your first time meeting me? Okay. If they say like that, what will you do? Now you have to make them happy, right? So if they tell, please tell, that they are not, so you have to lie for them. Have you done like that up till now, or how will you do? Sorry, you have done like that? But even for your parents, you should not break the precepts against what is against your conscience, because you're helping them in negativity is not going to be a help. Good, I sort of reminded this. So there you must say, no mother, no mom, no papa, I can't do that. This is important. There, but other occasions, if they tell you to don't go to that disco or don't associate these people, don't do it. Or don't watch TV or don't play too much games. This you have to be careful. So anyway, where was I? I'm going around like this. So parents, very important, my friend. So there, my father was happy, when I was going for the office. Now I'm coming back to the next channel. So my father was so happy that I was doing my work, or at least followed him because doing a worldly thing, and I made him happy from his level. And these things helped me later on. I used to cut across jungle. These only commandos are put into this jungle. This is called Laggal. I don't know in Sri Lanka whether you're familiar. For training, they put them in there, they drop them there, and then they have to make them come out of that area. So one period I was going from jungle to jungle in 2004. In 2004, many things happened there. I was completely damaged and so on, whipped. There's certain poisonous trees that I didn't know about it. I have been touching that because to just make my way. And then every moment I found like some thorns were getting stuck in my body. But it was actually poisonous, what do you call buwa? In buwa, what do you call it in English? I can't remember now, because a long time not speaking English. So no, I don't know the word. Buwa like a kind of, allergy, it creates an allergy. Pollen, yeah. Something like a pollen, but a poisonous one. Yeah, something like pollen. So there, like you get a burning sensation. I heard who have got too exposed to that, they die also. They get a fever and so on. And so I was touching that and I was just doing that, but can't help it. I had to make my way. And so normally in the jungle we don't cover up like this, to protect the rope. We fold the ropes and keep like this and tie it like that. So all this is exposed. So sometimes those bushes are high up and it's touching my head area and all cut everywhere. So what happened? I didn't know whether I'll meet a human being. So I did meet, there was a long story what happened step by step. But anyway, when I was, how I found my direction, I had no compass, nothing, I had to look at the mountains and then from the top and keep my direction and the waterfalls like that. But I never lost my way. I have gone in the right direction. But to keep my alertness, I was damaged, that one is one and the leeches. Remove them like this, all blood. Not just one, not enough. Just, you find here. You just have to remove like this. This is not, this is what really happened. And when I fell down one place. If I broke something, finish. That time my thought came, near the river bed I was going, because others too much bushes, so I used to sort of go and then they so precipice like, then climb up and all this. And then anyway, how did I keep my presence of mind? Many people thought that I had some special powers to come out of that jungle. They thought he should have some special power to, it's not no pathway, no human beings, they are, it's like a kind of a virgin forest. Then there's something I did, which keep my presence of mind with all that weaknesses and damages. I chanted one mantra. You know mantras? Is there somebody else also outside? They are just seated. Kawari mahatte kinade. Then aapko gati salari aap. In the end of the program, I'm going to give something. End of the program, I'm going to give something, a small gift from my brain. If you have any problems, anything, it should, but I don't know how whether I could manage it. You can keep the door open, but some fresh air, it's okay. If it's cold, it's okay. If you find it cold. So anyway, I chanted one mantra. What is that mantra I chanted, My father blessed me, my father blessed me. I just kept on repeating that. My father blessed me, my father blessed me. So this gave me the strength in spite of all the weaknesses and difficulties. So my friend, I don't know why from the beginning I want to talk about something of this nature. Yeah, it might be helpful for you all, especially for the younger ones, to consider them and to make sure that, if you have to face that situation, that you must consider this very much. This is time you are taking a decision. It might, turn anywhere. So you can know. Wait for them. Wait until they give the green signal. Either whether you want to go for studies or work or even for going for playing. Better ask them. And then, but today you have to be very careful. So many ways. There are ways that the mind is caught. Tell you honestly, at your age, I used to curse my mother if my mother brought me like this, This is the time I'm watching TV or some kind of... No, I'm sorry, no TV. This is no. We didn't have a TV at your age, My parents brought later. Not TV, I'm sorry, I used to play, not this time, no. Daytime, I used to like so much playing. But, she used to force us. Even for telling prayers and all that. And I really remember, she was the real teacher. And even now, she's my inspiration. She's my force. And she had such a kindness. I think that's something, it's like it got transmitted, into my system. And those days I thought, at your age, I thought really, this is a girl's thing, all this kindness and all that. And your age, my hero was Bruce Lee. Really, I used to like so much fighting, and I had to break, stones, just to show off my friends. But after that, I had to bandage my hand, and keep closed for 3-4 days. But I used to, have that braveness, and I was skinny also. But very, very, I used to fight a lot, and every day, almost every day, every other day, I used to get a caning at school. I was there. At your age, I think I was at Trinity College we have in Sri Lanka and Kandy, and there the teachers are, very strict. So every day, and they also thought this is some, who is this child? In parents teachers meeting, my parents used to feel very embarrassed. And that time I don't want to learn English, I was like a revolutionary person also, because I found who used to read English books like any Blyton and all that. There was a group of students in our class. So I thought they are making some kind of distinction or some kind of discrimination. So I was against. So my parents, my father was in England and they were keen that I should, so I didn't want to learn English. Until when I had to go to South Africa, then of course everything, Lesotho, everything was in English. Then I almost forgot. So I was always sort of siding. I want to side who are less privileged and less... And even now, I'm thinking how I could, I was telling, it doesn't matter, I don't want a sort of screen group. Whoever is suffering can tell, especially this story, what happened to me in Kailash, Mansarovar. Death. Now actually, there's only one part of it. there were 2-3 parts that happened in that 2015 incident. One was the physical, I nearly left my body. Second was, I can't tell you all, it's like, we call it like, I don't know how much you can believe these things, like, demon attack directly when you're meditating, like certain temptations and so on. So it came in that form. Just after I recovered physically, suddenly these things also came. It's like that time some force or some nature was trying to remove my robes or completely destroy me, annihilate me. But I know this sort of challenges come when you come close to the goal. When you're having problems, you must be happy. That's a sign that you're coming close to some achievement. So really, if you get depressed and worried, you might lose the chance. So actually, this is what happened. So when it came close, I learned many things in that experience. Just to survive mentally, I realized that you should not personalize the problem. I realized that, the demon really enters through your ego. When you identify that problem as, it's my problem, it's me, then that is where you really fall. Problems happen to everybody. But you have to learn to just remind yourself, this problem can't be mine. If something is mine, you can control it. But if you can control, you are not going to have it, But if you are going to have it without your desire, it's something out of your control, then it is not you. But like for many, many years, you have learned to identify and not to analyze like this and sort of, catch and sort of go into things like even our own body. When we can't control, that means not ours. But just because we can move a little bit here and there, we get the misconception it is like our body. So when I was faced with this problem, I got this awakening, not to identify with it. There's no Gnanaloka. Normally I tell people I have 3 names. Or you also have the same 3 names. You know my name? By now I don't know who have come, they might know. What's my name, Bambalapitiye Gnanaloka. Do you know my real name? I have 3 names actually. These are only 2 names. Sorry?
Shanuka.
Oh, you know from that YouTube, I think, when I was a layman, right? But do you know there are another 3 names. If anyone guesses, maybe I should give them a special present, Can you guess? I have a special 3 names. Now this name is given to this body, right? And to, you can't have an invisible person. Can you give a name to an invisible person? Its name is given to somebody, a body. And two things we have, body and personality. That is coming with the mental factors, consciousness. You have just a body, a dead body, it doesn't move. It's nothing, if it moves and it talks in a certain way, but that is done by a consciousness. So a mind that is happening. Without a mind, there is no body there. So to a mind and a body only you give a name. So do you know my real name? 3 names. Can you guess? Impermanence, suffering, not myself. You can call, hello impermanence, come here. This is not only my name, it's also your name. This is the basic universal nature of a body. There's no body who live, you can't find anybody who's, for 100, 200, 300 years. So this is going to happen to us, all of us. Right? Can you understand? When you look at a body, you must see this nature. There's another part of me, there are 2 events really, 3 events. One is the Himalayan part and the other one is with the LTT, the terrorists. I happened to, be in their area as a young monk. Actually they saw somebody has taken some photos. Those days I was so anti, not only those days, until few months or 1 year maximum. This YouTube, nothing. That is 3 months. Only this I agreed with the YouTube and these things. Because even again, when I had a certain thing with the rishis, they happened to tell like this, this was for me a big change to allow my devotees or to spread like this through the YouTube, because I'm anti-computers very much. Not the technology, but it has created a lot of I might explain that also if you have time. Anyway, this I allowed 3 months back, this particular, but before I would not allow a photograph also. Just to give people, I want them to practice what I'm doing, not to sort of get this idea to isolate an impermanent thing, or just to sort of, so just let them, I want them to learn to let go the momentary experiences, not to hang on to it, or not to fully experience. If you fully experience the moment, you will not hang on. You will see the nature, how it arose, how it was there for some time, and how it finished. So at 2000, these people, they had to take a photograph without my knowledge. Not him, there was one devotee who came to the temple. So he realized after 16 years, this is the monk that we took photographs in with my teacher actually. Then I have returned from this LTT journey, LTT area jungle. That time I was like a wandering monk, where you go from, where I used to walk, I walked 1,000 kilometers, 1,500. More than 1,500 I think, but it took me 1 month to go up there and come back 1 month, back to my monastery. So it was all 2 months, 6 days I remember. So cutting across their area was all walking. No, if the vehicle stop, I don't get into any vehicle. That time I only walk, and night time stay in monasteries, in the village or in area, but LTT area I had other accommodation. So when I entered the area, I didn't see LTT. If I saw, I would have fainted, I would have not gone in like that. Because they were also surprised why this monk is entering, because they have killed so many monks. Like tit for tat, if something happened here, they used to go to villages, and so they were wondering, but I was having faith about my compassion. I knew who they are. When I see their bodies, I see karma, Do you know about karma? All of you, I don't know, karma, but do you believe in it? Do you think it is really true that is happening like that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think so?
Mm-hmm.
How do you think? I mean, because you met these people, or have you felt in some experience?
I like to think.
Okay, it explains a lot of things. It explains.
That if you do a lot of good will happen to you as well.
But okay, that is also good. It's like a good way to make you do good and not to do bad. But do you like to believe blindly? I mean, I would not do, because I never came to Buddhism from a kind of a traditional way. I was interested in physics, I told all of you. But you must find facts to prove is such a rule, it is really operating. So I know this thing, it's called Edgar Cayce. Have you heard of him? Many Mansions. There's one book, he was called the Miracle Man of Virginia. Now people who had many problems, difficulties, they used to come to him. When doctors and psychiatrists couldn't solve, they used to look such alternatives. So one lady from, there are so many stories, they're called case studies, they're all recorded. It's worthwhile going through that, and then you can accept these situations in life. You can accept your husbands, wives, and colleagues in offices. There's some cause for this. It's not by chance you're getting all these scenarios in life. And then you can accept it, you will not blame anyone, you're self-responsible for what you're experiencing. And it's like a reflection we are getting. But you must feel these things. When you feel these things, you're in harmony with the situation. And that is so much peace, It's like a certain part of, like your problem, 78% solved. Because you understand what's going on. So many thoughts are coming now to explain when I'm telling like this. Anyway, one story I remember of one lady who went to New York. She was in New York doing a certain job, and she used to use her hand, for advertisement. Not advertisements. Her hand was so beautiful that for selling jewelry, she used to show her hand. I mean, they used to put maybe bangles or whatever. for advertisements, they used to use her hand. And she was spiritual also. And she had a problem which nobody could solve. And then she heard about this Edgar Cayce, and she went to him. So he used to go to an unconscious state. And in that unconscious state, he used to tell, he also don't know what he said. They used to write down, So that time, sometimes certain problems we are facing, he used to refer to Crusaders' time. Some things we did, we killed somebody or hit somebody, how that is creating this chronic migraine and things like that. It's very interesting, it is very, and there he talks about karma, suddenly he used this word karma, he's a Christian. So this karma, then it explains like that. So this this lady, she had this problem. She has been a nun in the previous lives. And she was, so the problem, I don't know what she did, I can't remember why she was getting this problem, but she had this beautiful hand because she was helping the nunnery. And she has been cleaning the toilets without feeling, with so much faith and with so much, liking or devotion. This is not, she thought, oh, these are the nuns, these are the noble beings. And she was cleaning using her hand, without using even a brush. So this was the action, this was giving her this beauty. So normally the Buddha says, in the sutras, in the original sutras, a woman or a man is handsome or a woman is beautiful because of kindness in the past lives. That's one reason. And sometimes, and then a woman or a man is rich and because being generous. So normally a person, the true attraction is mainly if the person is rich and, handsome or beautiful. So these things you get not by chance, it's by the actions you did in the past. Because I also don't want to believe blindly. So this is very interesting. In my own meditation I had certain glimpses of, even with my father, why I was having this problem. Like he wanted me to do something else and it was a little bit friction, And but luckily in my own meditation in the forest one time, I happened to perceive suddenly due to my past karma, my father, how I got this father, and his karma, how I became his son. And families are formed like that, to interact, this karmic, to go through this. And also where you get to work and things like that, colleagues and all that, bosses who are angry sometimes, treating you badly. So you should not suddenly change your circumstances. You must try to change your way of looking at it, change your attitude, because life comes as a lesson, friends. It comes as a lesson for you to sort of use it. You must not run away from your lesson. You must try to see what you have to learn from there. That means patience maybe, forgiveness, these kind of qualities you will have to develop. And to take things positively. And to live in the present moment. Use meditation and to sort of, learn to think in a way that makes you feel suffering. Learn to think in a way that makes you, even if suffering is going on, that you don't feel it. I will explain about it also a little bit. So anyway, with LTT, when I entered the area, suddenly I didn't see them as LTT. I saw them as, like the bodies, karma, and that they're having the same makeup. Unfortunately, they got into a circumstance where they had this kind of environment, and they were drawn into that. And they had no other livelihood, they joined this particular. So when I saw them, and they also wondering, what? So I used to wish them, they also can be liberated if they follow the same procedure. So it is the same way. If they control their senses, if they meditate, they can do it. If greed is also same for all, then controlling greed and passion is also same for everybody. So they feel the same peace. So when I was wishing, sometimes I passed bunkers and all that. So they used to, small children, they were taken, recruited, because they had no manpower. They used to recruit all these people. It was a very sad sight. So I was blessing them. I got a permit and all that. And many things happened there. So there also I happened to see them as particular components of existence, And this I practice in the jungle. They have to see it, not to get distracted by what you see superficially, but to penetrate a person and see his underlying true reality. So, certain important points I must tell. I met somebody in the airport this time, and after a long time I'm coming, after South Africa, I think it's the first trip I'm ever going, because I don't think I'm interested to come to these places except to serve, because nothing attracts to me here. I mean, lucky I'm coming at this stage. If I came after the age of 18, it was all different. My experience, something that triggered in my mind, made me see the vanity and the sort of lifelessness in our certain material. Now, actually, I want to go to Princeton, I told, university there, because Einstein was there. When I had this meditation experience, it made me, I was seeing things like all jelly, they're all going to just disappear. It's a matter of time, going to be annihilated. So the longest thing that will survive in Princeton, what will it be? The professors will be gone, their bones, and and if I get a degree or some certificate, that will also disintegrate. Longest thing will be those granite buildings, right? The granite buildings. But in my vision, I saw them also just annihilated. So all my desire to go there was no more. Only thing I want to be as a monk and to practice meditation from that time to even now. So this was all gone in my mind. So now it's nice when I'm coming also, but actually I want to come here when I'm fully enlightened. But I'm still working for that. Long years when they invited, not here, America, I told them when I'm an arahant, I don't know whether you know this word, arahant means enlightened, fully enlightened. That means he has no greed whatsoever, no anger, or no, delusion. That means ego, or sense of I. He sees the changing process. So if everything changes, you can't find a single place where because something you should not change. You see? The I idea comes really with feelings. You must remember where I stopped, right? In case I forget. This I idea comes with feelings. Okay, sometimes you're seated and your legs, you get a cramp or something, or no blood doesn't flow. And if you didn't see with your eyes, you think, do I have my leg? You get this question, right? If you're with anesthesia or something, completely, somebody can cut a piece and take cause if you're not looking at it. It's like you don't have a leg. It's by feeling you get the idea of I. So if somebody says, what I feel is me, when the feeling changes, me also changes? Say you have a feeling, right? When you're eating something, and when that feeling you are there, like chocolate or something, okay? Until it touches, it's a conditional thing. When as long as touching and those conditions are there, you're getting that feeling. When the chocolate is monk and you're swallowed, you don't get the feeling. So when the feeling was there, you're feeling, I was feeling. And when the feeling is gone, then what happened to that I? You can't have an I which is constantly it's there one time and not there. It should be there all the time. Now somebody might tell feeling is something other than, I is something other than feeling. But say you don't have any feeling, now this is something for you to think. If you don't have feelings at all, my friend, will you get the idea of I? Can the idea of I ever come in a being without any sensation whatsoever present? Can you answer this? This is a Dhamma question. I'm suddenly coming to it. My brain is getting activated in a certain way. It's good for my organizer, because I don't know why, because maybe you all because I don't know what I'm speaking. Suddenly it comes to me, and okay. When you don't have any feeling whatsoever, say you don't feel at all, will you get the idea of I? Can you imagine an idea of I will come without, you can't have any feeling whatsoever? Is it a possibility?
No.
Sorry?
No.
Okay. Do you think it's a possibility then? Very good, very good, very good, very good. So my friend, you have to see, it's very interesting. With feelings only you get. It's a concept only, an idea. It's not really existing. So we are really clearing this misunderstanding or misconception and this mithya ditti. Mithya ditti means wrong view. So when we clear that, if somebody hits us, scolds us, nothing, no problem. It's just a sound. It's not me. They are not touching me. You can practically practice these things. So where did I stop? I told you how to remind me. What is that place? Sorry? Sorry?
Airport. Yeah. At the airport when you came,
Okay,
we
thank
met
you.
someone.
Very nice of you. So thank you for helping me. I had to help you all and you all helping me. So anyway, in the airport, so what happened? I told you something to meditate on, then you will understand Nibbana if you keep on thinking about it. But these are told by the Buddha. I must come to that also. Now I am explaining, if you just only listen to what I explain, this is not enough, my friend. You have to come in. This is explained by the Buddha in the original text to think like this. This is not mine. I just suddenly came to my mind and I am telling to you. But if you reflect on this will be your meditation object. So I will tell you, I remember it is in the word of the Buddha by Gnanaloka Thero. All of you can understand English now? So English translations are good. It is really, I think, very good. You can attain anything, it's clear translation, literal translation. Word of the Buddha by Gnanaloka Thero. Go through. It's a small book, it's a handy book. You have all the basic concept or the principles explained by the Buddha. Nobody explaining it, interpreting it. This is very important. This can be one of those verses, it can trigger this insight. But you have to keep on thinking, you have to get used to that thinking. So that is important. Then other one is the Majjhima Nikaya, by Bhikkhu Bodhi, Middle End Discourses. You must get a book. How many of you have these books? None of you have these books? So you are only getting information from monks who visit like this? No, this can't be, you are not going to achieve anything, mostly monks who will be coming like this will be monks who have a lot of desires. You are not going to get a real monk. I mean, you see, you're finding, it's difficult, to find a desireless, a realized monk coming it's not going to be easy unless some real revolution or some kind of great period is going to come. I hope it's coming. Maybe somebody will visit you all who is really have something, So mostly, if they are really sincere, they will make you independent. They will guide you to the master. This is the only one point I can tell you how to. They would not allow you to follow their words. That means they are still, going towards the realization. You understand? They have not realized from the Buddha himself the very words. They are still what they have experienced. Then they think this is okay, this is something I am seeing clearly. So they are telling, okay, they think they will tell others to rely on what they are saying, the way they are preaching. So I can give you some points on this terrain. If someone makes you dependent on them, it's not very sincere. You can take, it doesn't mean you should not listen to people, but these are some things, if you are one day going to search for truth, these are points which can make you not stray for long. If someone makes you dependent on the very original words of the Buddha, it's somebody's little something, some sincere something. Then you are not depending. Nobody can trick you. But those words should be, you must have a book beside your bed and read at least one per day. So anyway, this is very important. Where was I? Now in the airport. Okay, I'll go to that. In what is this? Singapore airport. Anything you want? You were showing the thing.
I was going to say, with the books that you're talking about, these are books, Buddhist...
original text, the Pali, into English translation. So you have it, very good translations by one bhikkhu called Bhikkhu Bodhi. And this is Gnanaloka, these are my actually old monks who were... In the West, the concepts were not properly going. So they were learned, they scholars, and he compiled this small book, Word of the Buddha. It's a handy book all the way. Because that is then translated from the very words of the Buddha, and they are just kept like that, and then it explains how the Buddha explains Four Noble Truths and the conditionality and all that. It's just there. It's not someone explaining it. So it's authentic, no problem. But only thing is, it's difficult to immediately appreciate those words because they need a standard of purity. So that also I will come very short, and then we can, I will wind up. I will. But last I'm going to give you all something. Be patient for that. It's not from words. It's something from my heart, from my mind. So anyway, in the airport I met, because I'm telling this, maybe it might also help. In the airport I met one met means I was looking for the gate, I have come to the Singapore with my father long time ago for holidays, or just 1986 I think. But after that, this is the first trip I'm coming there. So when I was there, it's now become so, so many departments, sections. So there I had to look for where the gate. And then one gentleman came and said, Swami said, are you from Sinhalese? He said, are you from Sri Lanka? I said, yes. I said, I'm going to Melbourne. And he said, I'm also going there. So this is for some of you, I'm telling this, right? So it's okay. So what happened, I told him like that. Then I realized that he was in an upset state. I don't want to say depressed state, because he was in an upset state. So he was saying, this is from Bante or Swami said, I'm coming from Sri Lanka. Just 2 months back my mother died. And I had just finished the, last, religious ceremonies and all that. And my mother, I miss her also, but so many other complications. I have done nothing, but my sister has, taken over the house, and so I don't know why she did. I think her husband, did something like that. I'm not looking for these houses and things, but this is my memories with my mother and my childhood. So they have taken like this, and I don't know why it happened. I know he looks so innocent person. But I waited quietly and I said, if you know the reason, you will not worry about it. I told him, if you know the whole situation, you will not worry about it. But then I found he was in a depressed state. Then I told immediately, can you see me? He said, yes, Bante, you are here, you are standing. This is all what is real now. This is all nothing. This is all vapor, vaporized. This is your consciousness, you're only aware of now. You learn to think in a way which makes you suffer. It's like, the dog looking into a well. He sees his own reflection. He thinks there's another dog inside. But when he comes out, he barks, there's nobody there. Same way, even now, when you come now to this moment also, you may have certain things you're thinking about your family and so on. And whatever, something has happened, this one has done like this, like that. But they're gone, my friend. Or exams or whatever, assignments or whatever. But if you have to worry about it, don't have my type of mind, and you'll become a monk also, study well. My parents had a hard time having a dreamy child, So anyway, you should learn to, you should remind yourself, because we are not used to reminding us the way of thinking which makes us free from suffering. If you learn to do like that, because we have learned mainly not enlightened people, we have been meeting people who are also disturbed. So they also give you ideas of ways of disturbed way of thinking. If you happen to read the Buddha, this simple wisdom, how to be cool, in any situation of difficulty, it is a right way of thinking. You learn a way of thinking. If someone does something bad to you, you must think, this has been happened to me. He managed to come to his kingdom, and then when he was in the castle, he realized really this saved me. This minister was right. Or advisor, he told that everything happens to your good. So then he thought, okay, to call him. He said, please call him. Then they brought him from there. He said, what you said, this thing happened to me, and you're right. Okay, I was saved. But what could happen to you? You all this time in the jungle. I said, King, sir, normally I am very loyal to you. I never leave you alone. I would have definitely followed you, not like the others. I would have been beside you. And they would have caught both of you. And they would have checked my body, and there's nothing. I'm in good shape. So, but I add another thing. Everything good happens to who is pure, have good intentions. Okay, that is something I'm going to add. Like my teacher, he want to join. He want to. He failed his Latin exam in Germany. He used to tell me. If he passed the Latin exam, he would have gone to university. And if he went to university, Hitler, that time he came to power and he recruited all the young people who would join the army. And you would not have a monk like this today, or meeting you like this. Nothing would have, not only monk, many people would have not benefited, and there would have not been such a living example of a master for us to hear even, just such a person. So this all changed because of failure, Do you know, failures are very interesting. Do you know about a surgeon in Bangalore who found a certain technique to separate the, appendicitis when they used to operate? There used to be, deaths because they used to cut a certain nerve, which was, so this, to separate that nerve in the operation, in appendicitis, this technique was found by a Bangalore, an Indian doctor. His name after him, I don't know what's his name. And he's a person who failed his MBBS, I think, 4 times. He had to wait for 1 year and all that after 3rd time, and then like this he had, he's such a person. Because when you fail, you become a master in the subject. If you pass immediately, maybe some luck or something, you don't master the subject. You understand? So when you have a lot of failures in life, you're going to be a master of life. You should know this, my friend. This is very important, you should know. And this creates the gems in you. Great prodigies and all that, great, they have gone through, they are going through tremendous, that has brought the genius out of them. Tell you honestly, I'll be blessing something, but these things all, I also got by going through a lot of suffering and failing many things. You see me like that, but I have got, you have to, our teacher tells us to go by force to suffering. We go as wandering monks, it's not a happy way, or you are not having a comfortable life, you face heat and rough people and all that. But he tells us monks to go through this training. Then only we get, hardened and, we learn to find happiness in situations of suffering. Because, you see, when you're really, this suffering, it depends how you think about it, Suffering can bring you great peace. Great, feelings of happiness. How? It all depends on how you think. If you have you heard of Angulimala? He was a murderer, right? But he met the Buddha, or he got wise advice and all that. What happened to him? He became a great person. He became an enlightened person. If he didn't meet like that and he thought negatively, if he thought, I killed so many people and so on and so on. He did such a thing. He was a murderer, but he became a saint and he became the happiest person on earth at that time. Because simply change of thought, how you think about what happened to you. You think in an enlightened way, things can change so much. But some small thing happens, but our thinking is so, this thing, that we make a, mole out of a what? Mountain out of a mole. My mother is the one who taught me all this, all this similes. Idle mind makes the devil's workshop and all these things. So now I remember, suddenly it comes to my mind. So it depends how you think, And even now, as I told that person, if you practice this basic meditation, even if you're in a big crisis, you must think what you're feeling immediately. Miracles could happen when you do like that, because that is not natural thinking, normal thinking. Normal thinking is to think in a suffering way, or great worry. But if you suddenly change the way of thinking, where you are focused, you just begin to notice what you're going through now. Like, you're feeling the touch of your body. You're seeing the Bhante, or this monk. You're hearing, if you just focus to that, and you might even notice the thought, what happened to you, what in the past. And just be present of that experience. If you wait for some time noticing like that, you suddenly find you're gathering energy, mental energy. Suddenly you find you will stop to worry. And suddenly you find an escape from this, and that you know you can do it. It's not something outside. When the problem is solved, you're okay. So this is, if you can do like that, this is very important thing. You must try it now. You must try it from today and immediately. Never you should have a long face. You know long face? No, right? There never should be one. No, you should be, even if you have to go to the guillotine or you have to go to, you must make your presence, not by being with pride and all that, like soldiers, they also do like that. No, you must master the wisdom of not worrying it until the last moment when he's cutting you. You should not bring the guillotine before that. Then you have a living death. You have to master this. You must just feel immediately the touch of your leg, walking steps, and then when you are just present in the moment of experience, in the moment, you'll be gathering energy and miracles may happen because you're upsetting the nature. I don't want to explain that more because I think I don't want to long. How much the time now? So, you'll have to wind up, okay? But I'll be giving you all some blessings. I hope you will take these small tips. I might say a little while, some of you might go, just 5-10 minutes I'll be there, but I'll be giving these little blessings, okay? What time you came? 7:30 or 7:45? 8:45? Okay, more than 9. Normally I might take you all until late in the night, but no, not too late. I have given some things for you all. I told you what to refer, word of the Buddha, these things. I have given the main things. This is your guru, future. Nothing to worry if you can follow like that. But next time you all should have these books with you. This is a map, no? You learn to only little and also apply it. Read a bit, apply it in your situation. If someone will scold you, shout you, watch that as a vibration. Just not a person. And then if you watch like that, you will not react. Scold back. If you can do it once, you have mastered a great practice in life. Anyone having some major problems? I mean, now at least you should not have it, but you feel still worried about it, or health-wise or emotional-wise, anything, if you all are having, definitely whatever my masters gave me. All these things will disappear. That you have this cool mind, free from worry, be like a diamond, and create this force with you, that it will burn off all these negative karmas and emotions and situations that might come. So not more smooth like day by day. May that follow all of you. May the Devatas give all protection. The angels follow you. I couldn't tell one more small thing, but I told about computers, today suddenly we don't, it will be a bit of there are times, I had certain experiences where behind us, there are sometimes invisible spirits. So, these things sometimes we don't see, but I met somebody like a certain guru of mine who used to bring those spirits into your body and make them talk. Then that person is unconscious. I don't know with your call even